Okay, so let's take just kind of recap here what we've done, and then add additional functionality. So we're trying to build a game here, where I guess you could say that, I mean, this game could be endless. You could add as much as you want and keep going and keep going, and at some point, um, I guess we'll kind of stop. But the goal is for you to get more and more comfortable with Scratch, and then eventually start one of your own games. Very quick recap. We have the algorithm here that lets us move the the tank. So that's this one. When we press on the space key, we create a clone, which is gonna then take. This is gonna start this entire algorithm. We switch costumes to the bullet because that clone is going to be a bullet, and then the bullet until you touch the edge, meaning the bullet is going to be moving 10 steps in the direction in which the clone was facing, and if it touches an enemy, it will wait for a tenth of a second and then delete itself. So if the bullet hits the enemy, it deletes. Otherwise, if it touches the edge, it will exit this loop and delete itself as well. Then we have this code right here. This is for the damage on the tank. So if the forever, keep checking to see if any of the three enemies are touching the tank. Again, if touching enemy 1, enemy 2, or enemy 3, and this code is in the tank, then we're going to simulate damage by doing a little bit of audio here, just a quick sound effect. We switch the costume to Tank Hurt, which is just a yellow version of itself. And for half a second, we actually also decrease the health by 1. And then we switch back to the original tank costume, which is this one. And then the enemies all have the same code within. Every enemy here starts at a specific location. Oh, this is the original enemy, because the way we're working with enemies is that we have original sprite, and we are basically constantly creating copies of that sprite, clones, if you will. And these clones are starting at a location here, start location, which is a random it's a random location on the outer perimeter of the screen. Notice I do have start location. It is a MyBlock. It is a function itself, because this code is executed twice. When you first start the game, you specify a starting location for your first clone, and then every time that the clone is hit by a bullet, it is touching red. We reinitialize the starting location for the new clone that is going to reappear somewhere, where X and Y are the locations, the starting locations for that new clone. It says here, go to X, Y. So a few algorithms, every clone has this. Notice the purple clone here is moving faster. It's moving 2 steps. The green clone is only moving 1 step. I wonder if we can do 1.5. I'm curious. Looks like we might be able to. And then the red one is just going to move 1 step. And so the purple clone is coming at you quick. And there it is. That's some damage. All right, perfect. Clearly, I'm not good at this game. There we go. Stop. Every time you stop, your tank health goes back to 1,000. Let's work a little bit with bullets. So let's try to make maybe different types of bullets, and have each bullet or each type of bullet create a different damage on these enemies, or we can call them zombies. We can call them zombies, if you will. We can call this zombie 1. Making a change here, by the way, should take care of the change in the tank. This right here. Notice the change to zombie 1. Good. And then we call this zombie 2. And zombie 3. Right, let's go to the tank here. The first thing I'm going to do is, I did this already, but I can show you how I did it. I kind of modified the bullet. It was a rectangle. That was kind of not exactly what I wanted. So what I did is well, let me do it. I made a quick circle. I made it black because my background is black. So when you, by the way, you can make it so that you can actually select the color straight from the background. You can just click here and it gives you that color that I have here, which is just black. I clicked on the circle and I made a circle here. And then this circle I kind of put here. I just kind of, I'm trying to make it so that it's not a rectangle. Then I copied it and pasted it. And then I moved that to like maybe right here. And then I did one more and I put that right here to kind of curve the edge. So this looks a little more like a bullet. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. So now if I shoot, notice that it looks like that, okay? I'll make another costume, which is going to be maybe this is a bullet. The next one will be a missile or a missile. I don't know. Misil is how we say it in Spanish. Okay. I'll actually start from this bullet. I'll duplicate this. I'll call this a missile. This is supposed to inflict more damage than a regular bullet. I think definitely the thing we want to do here is change the color. And if you want to change the design a little bit, that's okay. I'll go with that green there. Let me think about. So we'll make this maybe a little smaller, just a little shorter. Which kind of almost looks identical here. Let me see if I do this. Okay, that's good. It's as long as it's, well, at least for me, different. And this looks like it's enough. Alrighty, perfect. So we have now a bullet and a missile. And one of them is going to inflict more damage on the zombies than the other one. So the bullet is going to inflict less damage than the missile. Now I'm going to go to the code. Actually, let me go back to this. Set the default costume. And I want to create a missile when I hit a different key. So right now the space key is the one that creates a clone of myself. And when I start as a clone, I change to the bullet. But let's go ahead and do this. We're going to create a flag or a variable, really. Let's make a variable. And we'll only make it for this sprite. And did I give it a name? I don't think I gave it a name. Rename variable. Let's call this ammo. Let's call it ammo. I don't know if that's a good name. Maybe I'd have to rename it later down the road. And this variable is basically going to kind of keep track of whether I've pressed on the space key or if I've pressed on a different key that I'm going to use to shoot. So I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to set ammo to 0 if I press the space key. And then I actually want to duplicate this and put it right below it. So in just a separate if statement within the same loop, forever loop. And then I'm going to use, I don't know, space. I'll use W to shoot missiles. And then if I shoot a missile, I'm going to set ammo to 1 instead. 1. I will still create a clone of myself and wait 0.1 seconds. Now, this is a great example of implementing MyBlock because you will need one for your application. So notice that I've repeated a code. It's almost identical here. Set ammo, create clone, wait a tenth of a second. Set ammo, create a clone, wait a tenth of a second. And wherever you see code that is almost identical, to simplify things, it is convenient to create a MyBlock. Now this one is going to require an input because I need to send a value. The block of the name here is going to be, I'll call it shoot. Add label. I think we're good with that. Click OK. So now here is the code. And what I want to do is, because this code is showing up almost identically at two locations, I'm going to take one of these and put it in here. And it says number or text. I think I may have needed to change that. Okay. So I was supposed to rename that. Let me go ahead and just get rid of this, and then we can make a new MyBlock. So make a block again, add input. Right here, you can give this a name. We can call this ammo type. Okay. And notice how it says ammo type now. Oh, I didn't put the block name. God. Okay, let's do it one more time. So the block name is shoot. And then the input here, which can be either a number or text. We don't want it to be Boolean. A Boolean is true or false. We'll put here ammo. Finally, we got this right. So notice that I'm going to just take these three blocks, put here, define this MyBlock called shoot, and then set ammo to ammo type. So I'm going to drag that in there. Create a clone of myself, wait a tenth of a second. And where before I had those three blocks, I'm going to place a call to MyBlock. So execute all the code and shoot, where I'm going to send one as an argument. And so that is going to be stored in ammo type, and we're going to set ammo to 1. And I'm going to actually I can get rid of this, and I can do the exact same thing, but send a 0. So when you press on the space key, your ammo type is going to be 0. And when you press on the W key, your ammo type is going to be 1. And we execute this 3 blocks for either scenario. And the only difference between a bullet and a missile is the costume. So when I start as a clone, I need to check to see if I don't want to put the whole thing here. I'll say here if, actually an if else. If, and then I'm going to go to operators, and I'm going to pick the equals. And then I go to variables, and I'm going to pick out ammo. If you press on the space key, you're going to shoot 0. That means you're going to set ammo to 0. And so ammo equals 0. And if ammo is equal to 0, I want the costume to be the bullet. Else, I want the costume to be the missile. Now, it is possible, and I'm thinking of this. I don't know if it's going to happen. It is possible you press the space key, and this code is you set ammo. No, I think it's going to work fine. You're going to set ammo to 0, create a clone, and wait a tenth of a second. So we'll come when we start as a clone. Ammo is equal to 0, so that's going to be the bullet. If I press W instead, I'm going to shoot 1. So I'm going to set ammo to 1. Ammo type is 1. Create a clone of myself, and so I should switch to the missile. Let's try it. It works. I'm dying here. Okay, let's try one more time. So I press W. W may not be the best key. Notice that the missile right now has no effect on the sprites, and that's because I need to change that code. but I can shoot missiles. Only the bullet has an effect. So it's working great. What I can't apparently what I can't do is um, play this game. Okay. Well, now let's do this. Let's perform a change here for zombie, and then we'll have to do it for zombie 2 and zombie 3 as well. Where before we said if you're touching red, that's the color of the bullet. And let me go to the tank really quick and set it like that because I will. Let me do it one more time. Oh, come on. Stop. There. I'm going to have to pick out this exact color. So I'm going to go to code for zombie 1. I'm going to have to replicate the same code for the other 2 zombies. I was moving point towards the tank, move 2 steps in that direction. If you touch red, create a new start location, create a clone of yourself, and delete this one clone. Okay, so this basically creates a new clone. The start location is an involved algorithm that lets just randomly picks a position on the outer edge of the screen. But now we have a different color, this color. So what I'm gonna then make is I'm gonna make a new variable for the zombie. I'm gonna call it damage. Make a variable, call this damage. I'll do it for this sprite because if I do it for all sprites, they will all have the same exact value. So I'm going to have to make it separately for all 3 sprites. So here we go. Damage for zombie 1. Notice it says zombie 1 because it only belongs to zombie 1. What I'm going to do is that when I start as a clone, I want to set damage. So set damage to 0. And then I'm going to actually, I'm going to take this out of here. And I'm going to say that if I'm touching red, I'm going to change damage or increase damage by 1. Actually set it. I'm going to set it to 1. No, I want to increase this. Change by 1. So the bullet, you're going to have to change ammo by 1. So this is going to increase it by 1. And then if I'm touching, so I'll duplicate this block. I'll get the color here. Oh, God. Okay, thanks, zombie. Let me stop. I'm gonna have to. Okay, let me go back to this. Okay, so let me pick out this color from the screen. It's a little hard when your background is. Oh, there it is. There we go. That. If I'm touching the missile, I actually want to set ammo, not change ammo, set ammo to, I don't know, like 3. And then I'm going to say that if damage, change damage by 1, set damage to 3. So every time you hit, the red hits you, you're going to increase damage by 1. So it's going to start at 0. So it would be 1, 2, and 3. But if you touch the missile, then you're going to set it to 3. If it's 0, you're immediately going to change it to 3. And then I'm going to go to control and say that if damage is equal, if damage is greater than or equal to 3, then we want to put this code in here. If damage, we'll go to operators. Do we have a greater than, equal to? There's no greater than or equal to, so we'll just say if damage is equal to 3. And go to my variables and we get the damage here. Then create a new start location for our new clone, create the new clone, delete this clone. Let's try it. That's going to take 3 shots. Oh, it's still dying at 1 shot. Oh, you know it's the purple one, right? Notice how it didn't die right now, the purple one, because this code. Okay, I'm gonna slow this down. Much. There we go. Notice it doesn't die unless I need to hit it 3 times. There we go. Okay. Only I could play this game better. So it doesn't die unless I hit it 3 times, but if I hit it with a missile, it should die. Okay, there it is. There it is. It dies on the first hit. Oh god, come on. Now the other zombies 2 and 3, they won't die if I hit them with the missile because I haven't coded it yet. But the purple one dies with 1 hit. Oh, come on. There, it died. It takes 3 bullets to kill the purple one, 1 missile to kill the purple one. You need to replicate this code for the other 2 zombies. So that's going to be your job. Make sure you get it done for all 3 zombies.